Kinesiology is a scientific study of motion and the active and passive forces involved. Occupational therapy is a practice that uses a goal-directed activity to promote independence and function, profession that uses therapeutic activities to help persons engage in a meaningful and purposeful activities. Kinesiology matters to OT because it's used to understand the different forces that act on the body, providing an ability to manipulate or control these forces for therapeutic reasons. Used to design and modify adaptive equipment, evaluate the safety of environment, create therapeutic activities and exercise programs.
The anatomical neutral position is standing upright, toes pointing forwards, arm by the sides, and palms facing forward. The axial skeleton makes up our central axis and consists of the skull, vertebrae, ribs, and sternum. The appendicular skeleton consists of the limbs and girdles.
The sagittal plane divides the body into left and right halves. The movements in the sagittal plane are flexion and extension. The frontal plane divides the body into front and back halves. The movement of the frontal plane are adduction and abduction. The transverse plane divides the body into upper and lower portions. The movements of the transverse plane is horizontal ab and adduct.
When measuring shoulder horizontal ab and adduction, you measure superior to inferior in the horizontal plane. So right here, and you want to move your hand forward. To measure shoulder abduction, you go through the anterior to posterior, which is in the frontal plane. Okay, ready? Move your arm up. To measure shoulder flexion, you go through the medial to lateral axis, which is through the sagittal plane. So can you move your arm up? Like that.
The oblique plane passes through the body at an angle, either between the transverse and sagittal plane or the transverse and frontal plane. The oblique axis goes through the oblique plane. Arm circles are an example of a movement in the oblique plane.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. Woman, you're cute, and you don't need no me. Bridging up you for them, you are make fun more. Woman, you're cute, and you don't need no me. Bridging up you for them, you are make fun more. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically. Woman, you're nice, sweet, fantastic. Big ship on the ocean, that's a big Titanic. Woman, you're nice, sweet, fight down your thing. Big ship on the ocean, that's a big Titanic. Nice, sweet, fantastic. Big ship on the ocean, that's a big Titanic. Woman, you're nice, sweet, fight down your thing. Big ship on the ocean, that's a big Titanic.